Alright guys, welcome back to the Combustion Gamer YouTube channel, and today we're looking at Project Motor Racing. So this is interesting. This is going to be ultimately published by the same group that puts out Farming Simulator, Giants Software. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see what this game does, but it's going to be releasing on Xbox, PlayStation, and of course PC. The price tag on this is running about $79.99. The PC version I think is a little bit more expensive than the console version, so kind of interesting there. And looks like there will be like the typical expansion packs coming out after release as well. But still, it's looking pretty interesting. So let's get into the trailer. We're gonna try it with noise first, and ultimately, if that has to get cut out because of copyright stuff, I'll just give you my reaction to the trailer in silence afterwards. So let's take a look here.
They ask, why do you love this wild, crazy sport? Because life makes a lot more sense when you're out there chasing limits. On the edge, where racers like to play. The thing about messing with the limits though, eventually you're going to come unstuck. And then they'll ask, now what? Now you go back out and you do it all over again. The highs and the lows, they don't matter. What matters is getting out there, competing, racing. Because it's not the failures that brand us, it's the wins that define us. In this sport, no one gets to buy legacy. We build it together, one lap at a time. Because legacy is not an orphan, it's all of us. It's this wild, beautiful community we call sim racing.
Alright guys, so there we go. We saw the trailer with the noise. Now obviously, now we're going to go back through it and look at it in silence. And obviously, if you didn't see it in the video, it's because it got hit with copyright for music and stuff. But we got, we'll watch this. I'm going to slow it down here just a little bit. Do half speed just so that way we can pause and look at stuff here. Alright, so let's take a look here as the trailer plays. So we get a nice look. They got cars set up in like the Halo studio type thing to get the perfect lighting. We get a lot of nice old footage mixed in with game footage, which is pretty cool. So Project Motor Racing, little teaser entry there. Got Giant Software obviously going to be publishing it. We get a lot of nice warehouse or garage vibes, I guess. And then we got Derek Bell, who's a 5-time winner of the Le Mans 24 hours. He's doing the narrating for the trailer. And I think if I saw correctly, when they were doing some promotional stuff and testing and whatnot for the game initially, they actually had one of his cars that he drove that they were doing some test driving at Silverstone and stuff. Now, one of the biggest things they said was this different breed of driver called sim racers. So really trying to dig into this is for sim racers, but they also wanted to say with their release and stuff that it is also going to be compatible for those that are just dipping their toe into automotive racing. But you really see they're trying to dig into that old school racing niche. They're really trying to go back to motorsport roots where it was just the pinnacle of motorsports. They're really digging into that. And as we continue, you're going to see some of the cars that they have in-game that are just really that pinnacle of motorsport. They got the whole motorsport rig right here. I believe also had the opening screen there. So this is going to be interesting because we got Ben Collins over here. So he's the official test driver for Project Motor Racing. Now you see right here we actually have, if you look up on the screen, we actually have the menu. So Motor Racing menu there. He's got a Lamborghini currently set up, and we can kind of see him going through the menu. So you have career mode, you have, I believe that's going to be multiplayer or single player mode. But there's different modes there. You got the profile you can manage. Looks like purchasable content. Looks like a tab that you can press on there as well. Keep going here. He goes into the menu where you can select your cars. And I believe this is called the Gillette. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Yeah, the Gillette Vertigo. Those are wacky looking cars, by the way. Those things are wacky. Cool looking, but they're wacky looking cars. And you can also see there on the side of the menu, there's a whole thing with multiple cars that you can scroll through as well. And you see him scrolling through there as we keep going. That's a wacky car there. That's the Morgan. I can't read what that is, but that is one, that's a lot of chrome on that car. Two, that's just a really wacky looking car. That's pretty cool. So then we get a nice overshot view of the whole sim rig there as we're doing the whole cinematic talk. Oh, we get another look at the menu here. So he's scrolling through the menu. We get the behind the look view. Still got the Lamborghini there. He's selecting another menu. Looks like we got a, I believe that's a Lotus he's looking at the moment. There's also Ferrari. It looks like there's a Porsche, and I want to say that there's a Ford, but I can't tell from this angle. Yeah, he just selected another car there, just switched. So so you can kind of see the in-game menu here. Now he got the three screen surrounding him in the sim rig, actually on the track there. You get a little view of that. You can kind of see the car moving around. So really built for the hardcore sim racer, but also built for those that just want that little taste of motorsport as well. That's really what they wanted to do, but really digging into this game is set up for a true dedicated sim racer, which is really cool. Now we get in-game footage right here. So this is the alpha in-game footage, and you can see, I want to say that's a Lotus. I am not going to 100% say that, but that looks either like a Ford GT or a Lotus, one of those. I'm going to go with probably it's a Lotus, but I'm not... Yeah, I think that's a Lotus. That's a nice looking car. I think I got to see one of those at HSR at Daytona. I believe that was 2 years ago, last year. It was one of those. But got to see that with the Ford GT of the same year and the Ferrari of the same year. And boy, those cars are something else. Those are some really cool cars. So you see him coming over. I think this is at... I want to say it's Road America, but I think it's at Lime Rock. And then we get, and you can see the change of the colors. We get a bunch of newer cars. We get the Salines ripping through here. We get the Lister Storm right here. You can kind of see that very, very cool headlight. That is such a neat car, the Lister Storm. That is just such a fascinating car that was built. And you see another one coming through right here. That is just such an amazing car. Obviously, you know about these cars from when I was able to play Total Immersion Racing. I still have that game. I just haven't cycled back around to getting some content made with it. But that was like my go-to racing game growing up. Just had lots of fun. Brother, sister played hours on that game, just racing around, and that was the pinnacle of a racing game for us, and the cars in it as well were just so neat. So keep watching here. I think I saw a Lamborghini there as well, in that shop potentially. We get a nice inside view of the cars here racing around. Canadian Tire. Okay, so we got a Gillette right there racing us. I want to say it's a Saline. And we got the Panaz LMP cars. Oh, that makes me very happy. Obviously, Ford powered. The Panaz cars. Oh, I love Panaz. The Panaz cars are just so iconic. The sound from those cars, even when it's replicated in game, it is an amazing car. So you just look at that beautiful, just iconic looking race car, especially if you go to I forget the Esprit GTR, I think. Or GT1, I forget the exact designation, but the Esprit car, which is like the coupe race car, beautiful looking race cars. Love that. Obviously built here in America. They had a whole racing school down at Sebring and stuff. Just beautiful cars. Love the Panazes. That's probably like my go-to cars. I think I got to see one. I think it was like one of their very last season ones of those. last evolution of those at Daytona a few years ago. It wasn't as good as some of the ones that they had, but it was a pretty nice one. I forget what that one's name was, but it wasn't the Esprit GTR though. But at some point, I've got to see one of the Esprit GTRs because those cars, man, they look good. So here we go. We got Audi R8 racing some Lamborghinis. Not sure what the circuit is. I want to say that's Road America. It kind of looks like Road America, but I'm thinking it's Lime Rock. I'm not totally sure. And here we go. We get pit stops. So we're looking at the pit crew footage here. Very much the same. That whole pit stop. Let's look at that again. That whole pit stop sequence. I can tell you right now, that looked very much like Project Cars 2, which I'm all for. I think Project Cars 2 currently is like the pinnacle, in my opinion, of racing game. I think that was probably the best game out there. It has bugs, of course, but I think that was just, for me, that's the pinnacle at the moment. We get the old style Audis. Oh, those things are so cool. I mean, look at beautiful looking cars. The amount of detail in these cars is absolutely insane. They look awesome. Nice shot driving off into the sunset there. They're trying to amp up the classic racing, but then also mixing in the new. Obviously, we got the brand new Lamborghini. This car, I do like the sound of this one. Honestly, I'm a real big fan of the Aston Martin a bit more. That thing has a much better sound. Obviously, you can't beat the Cadillac V8s though. But these Lamborghinis, those are some cool cars. You got a nice snow rolling off of pit road, getting ready to go onto the track. Not sure which track this is. I would say there was probably Sebring. Looks like we're going to get Nürburgring right there from that screenshot. So you got Old Lotus right back here, or the Ford GT. It's one of those. I always get those mixed up, so I'm thinking it's probably the Lotus, but I might be the Ford GT as well. For sure, you got the Lister Storm, and then obviously you got the Lamborghini IMSA car also. I forget what the European version of that is called, but obviously for me, that's the IMSA car right there. That's my best way of describing that. But yeah, so there you go. Supposed to be available in the fall. And it's going to be the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and of course available on PC, more than likely through Steam, is what I would imagine. I think I have that on my wish list currently on Steam, just so I can watch it, but still, it's a really good looking game, and I really appreciate how much they're trying to dig back into their roots while also bringing in the newer cars as well. If I remember correctly, it's supposed to be like 27 tracks, I think, something like that. So let me hold on and give you a break right here. Obviously, nice looking menu, so we got to see that. But I'm going to go check out the Steam posting here and see if it gives us more details than this trailer did. Alright guys, so here we go. We're in Steam looking at some screenshots. So you can see the different times and weather. So this right here is Canadian Tire. Beautiful look at the Lamborghini and Audi racing right here. You got the Lister Storm and of course the Saleen. Beautiful looking cars. The Gillette followed by a Lamborghini. I want to say that that's Spa Franco Champs, but I'm not totally sure on that one. That looks like Canadian Tire once again. Nice inside view. You can see some wear and tear on the inside of the cars. That's pretty neat. Taking a look at this, another beautiful set of Saleen cars racing a Lamborghini right here. Something Grand Prix. I'm not sure what track that is. And then obviously Canadian Tire once again here as well. But beautiful shots there. So let's take a look at, yes, here we go. So Project Motor Racing Ignites All the Passion. Hold on, we got the trailer starting back up again. Mute that. Alright, so Project Motorsport Racing ignites all the passion, beauty, intensity of professional motorsport. The best, nothing less. Race across eras in 72 meticulously created cars across 10 iconic classes and 27 global layouts. So this is kind of what's interesting. So obviously, when I think what's in the game, I'm thinking 27 tracks, 27 this, 27 that, but it says 27 global layouts. So is that layouts of the track, or is that actually 27 tracks with layouts within them that we get to race? That's, I don't know, it's like, I think it was Forza Motorsport recently too. It kind of confused me as to what they were talking about, because they said it was like multiple multiple environments that you get to race across. They never actually said how many tracks were in the game, so that was just seemed kind of confusing to me. But anyways, weird stuff. Just it's fine, but there was some weird stuff going on with how they worded that just confused me a bit. So cars from today's radical LMDH. So obviously that's more of the hypercars. So that's taken more from the European than the American, which it is obviously European based. So that's fine. But obviously for me, I'm recognizing that as IMSA. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So history's most iconic legends. So from the radical hypercars to history's most iconic legends, each vehicle is a licensed masterpiece, so they actually have the license for the cars. That's cool. Circuits scanned, so they actually have scanned for the ultra precision authenticity racing for all. From sim races to first-time races, Project Motor Racing delivers single-player career, so there's career mode, online racing modes, in-game events, packed 4-class race experience, so obviously 4 classes of racing, simulation refined, very much reminding me of Project Cars 2, so making me very interested in this game. First principle physics, new physics engine delivers unmatched handling, realism, and high fidelity FFB, so I believe that is force feedback. Don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking that's what that's short for. But I have not seen that used for that before. The benchmark setting physics engine built on mod-friendly Giants Engine 10. So, does that mean that people in the community can make their own cars? Benchmark setting physics engine built on the mod-friendly Giants Engine 10. So obviously, you got Farm Simulator. It's really good game when it comes to mods. You can have tons of people working on mods, whether that's the game maps, tractors, trucks, cars. People have a lot of fun and a lot of work and time and effort put into mods. So those guys do a great job. But this right here, mod friendly, that makes me very interested on if there's going to be like a workshop for this game, so people can build their own cars and then put them in the game for obviously you guys to go through Steam and be able to put them on. So that could be interesting. So we're going to keep moving on. Factory driver program. Every car's handling painstakingly tested and approved by brand partners and hundreds of the world's top racing pros to assure authentic levels of handling precision. Immersive sound design, motorsports ferocity captured like never before. Feel every second. Living cockpits. I mean, the cockpits, looking at the detail on those look really good with visible G-forces, heat, haze, etc. True to track. I don't know what that is. I haven't heard that term before. So that's interesting. Dynamic weather conditions, adaptive racing, and drying line. So we've seen that obviously with like Project Cars 2, so very similar to that once again. 24-hour day to night cycle and triple screen and VR compatible for PC. So that is pretty neat. And so just looking down here, so your minimum requirements for this is going to be like 8 gigabytes of RAM, Windows 10 obviously, NVIDIA GTX 1060, DirectX version 11, an AMD 3 or an Intel i5. Your recommended is going to be an AMD Ryzen 5, 16 gigabytes of RAM, GTX 2060. So that's going to be like recommended, obviously, for all of those. But still. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, Farming Simulator is 20% off on Steam currently. So that's nice. But anyways, I definitely like how this game looks. We're just going to let this play here. Very interesting. Going to keep an eyeball on it. So they're looking at a quarter 4 of 2025 release for this game, but it definitely looks very, very neat. The graphics look good. Interesting looking game. Definitely excited to see where it goes, and we'll definitely keep an eyeball on it towards release. And it'll probably be one of those that if I do get it, it will be after release, just because I want to hear what other people have to say about it before I get it personally. But the cars that are in it make me really, really excited for it, and the overall look of it definitely gives me some Project Cars 2 vibes, which is definitely pretty neat. So we'll see how it goes on release, and definitely definitely excited to see what happens. So anyways, that is Project Motor Racing. It looks really good. I would definitely encourage you guys to keep an eyeball on it because it's looking pretty cool. So anyways, that is it for us today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you haven't checked out the merch shop, you can check it out. And you can also become a member and support the channel on a monthly basis as well. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye.